it's me here. I'm kind of bored, so I just figured I'd go over my deck collection of my mostly completed decks, because you know that my Fluffles has a couple of proxies. But other than that, these decks are pretty much finished. So yeah, let's just go over them real quick. Yeah. So yeah, these are my Fluffles. Like I said, there's a couple of proxies in them, but the main deck's completed. This deck is pretty fun. It's all about, if you guys don't know what fusions, not fusion, if you guys don't know what Fluffles do, they're basically fusion spam. The main OTK I know about in this deck is making a Tiger pop your opponent's board, then attacking at least more than 4 times with Wolf. So yeah. I guess I'll just be having a little overview of my deck, or of the deck. So yeah, on to the next deck. Yeah. Up next is my Resonator Red Dragon Archfiend deck. It's pretty much complete too. I've actually just been editing it a lot today, getting new ideas for this deck, like this idea right here. Primitive Butterfly. I didn't even think about this card, but yeah, the card is pretty good. Basically special summons self out for free, as long as I have no monsters and my opponent has some. And in today's game, there most likely will be. And it is a Red Dragon Archfiend deck, so we got Red Nova Dragon, Bane, Abyss, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, triple regular Red Dragon Archfiend, and a little bit of Goyos in here, and the 2 high-speed red cards in here. So yeah, on to the next deck. Up next is my Ghost Tricks. I've had this deck since I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! It was one of my 2 decks I've had since I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Although it wasn't really mine, I was using it because of my friends, and he just ended up giving it to me. And he watches my videos, so you know who you are. Yeah. So, if you guys don't know what Ghost Tricks do, oh, I forgot to give over the overview of the Red Dragon Archfiend deck. Doesn't really need it, because it's bringing out Red Nova Dragon, as you saw. So yeah. Ghost Tricks, they're basically all about stalling your opponent. Actually, there's many different builds of Ghost Tricks. That's why I like this deck, because there's incredibly versatile ways to win. But it mainly consists oh, sorry, I run a little synchros in here. Getting out Angel of Mischief, using her win condition, stalling for final countdown, beating the crap out of your opponent with this guy right here, and just trolling your opponent, basically. So yeah, on to the next. Now we have Dark Worlds. Dark Worlds have been an extremely infamous deck ever since Grapha came out, because when they first came out, all they really had was Silva and Gold. But once Grapha got introduced, I think they went Tier 1 back in the day with Graceful Charity, Card Destruction. And this deck is still pretty powerful with cards like Drag Down into the Grave, and their own cards like Dark World Dealings, Gates, Fabled Raven's really good. Yeah. And the consistency, because Agrappa's a level 8, so he has access to trade-in, you have access to rank 8s, so in essence you have access to this, and this, which are just great cards. So yeah, on to the next deck. And the next deck we have is Blackwings. Blackwings, you really don't need an explanation of Blackwings. They're a synchro spam deck, so get out lots of synchros within 1 turn. and just have a good time. That's all they really are, just have a good time. So yeah, then on to my last deck. Obviously my last deck is my Odd Eyes Magician with Magispector sprinkled in. This deck is pretty good. Ever since I found out my last video, you could make Beals. Beals, I love Beals so much. Because Tuning Magician is a dark monster, and I know people still think this. Now, Beals needs a dark monster, a dark non-tuner monster, which you don't, but if it did, you have Odd Eyes, which is a level 7 dark monster. So yeah. This is all my decks. They're all extremely, like, I think this and maybe Black Wings are the most meta decks I have. And maybe Fluffles. But these three decks right here, Ghost Tricks, Red Dragon Archfiend, and Dark Worlds, they're all about just having fun. Dark Worlds is all about getting your opponent to just basically flip the table, because it's Dark Worlds. Dark Worlds are not liked by the community, which I don't see why they just don't like it anymore. But hey, people have their own opinions. The only reason I say Fluffles are pretty meta is because Sabretooth, well, Tiger and Saber Tiger. I know it's Sabretooth, but I call it Saber Tiger. Pretty good. Wings just add so much consistency to the deck. I reread March. March is OP. Because I actually reread its effect. It's like, you don't have to send the Frightful Monster to the grave. You can just negate whatever you want, which I think is really good. So yeah. This is my deck list, or this is my deck collection. I'm sorry about that. I accidentally just hit my phone. I'm in the middle of building decks, like over here. Sorry, my room is messy. I'm trying to build Pepe. This is my little cards I have for Pepe. So yeah. And over here, I'm trying to build, Fire Fists. That's really it. But I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh's a fun game. I just like it. And yeah. Goodbye. Oh, sorry. I forgot. I also have a Greater Kaiju deck, but I'm letting a friend borrow it, so. Yeah. Greater Kaijus, if you don't know what they are, just give your opponent big monster, steal it back, attack them, OTK them. Yeah. Goodbye. Oops, wrong button.